Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at the most comfortable game of all time. It's Cotton 100% for the Super Famicom. It was originally going to be called 50% cotton and 50% polyester, but I guess the publisher didn't think that had quite the same ring to it. It was developed by Success, same as all the other games in the series, and it was released in Japan only in 1994. The plot is basically the same as the original Cotton, and pretty much all of the sequels too. The title character, a little witch on a broom who's obsessed with magical candy, is accompanied by a fairy named Silk as she tries to save the world from the forces of darkness. So it's not a series known for its deep plot or characters, but it is serviceable, and it was one of the pioneers of the cute-em-up genre, which is always a delight. In terms of gameplay, Cotton 100% is pretty much the exact same as Cotton on the PC Engine. It's a straightforward side-scrolling shooter, but it drops the typical power-up system in favor of an experience system. As you destroy enemies and pick up multicolored crystals they leave behind, you fill up the experience meter located at the bottom of the screen, and when it's full, you level up and your shot and bombs become more powerful. You also have a limited number of powerful magic attacks that serve as your super bombs, and you can rescue fairies that will accompany you in combat, kind of like the options in Gradius. And one cool thing about these fairies is that if you lose a life, one of them will go kamikaze and blow themselves up, causing massive damage to all of the enemies on screen. Unfortunately, every time you die, you lose a big chunk of experience and go back down to a much weaker level, which can be especially irritating in later stages. But overall, this is actually a fairly easy shooter when compared to games like Gradius and R-Type, for example. Every stage concludes with a boss battle against an oversized monster, which is followed, as always, by tea time, where you grab as many cups of tea as possible to earn some bonus experience points. On the whole, this is a really fun shooter, as pretty much all side-scrolling Cotton games are, but there aren't that many shooters on the Super Famicom to begin with, so this one is definitely a welcome addition. It's pretty damn good. The presentation is where I think Cotton 100% exceeds the PC Engine Cotton, or at least it does in the graphics department. The PC Engine game is a very good looking game, but this one just takes the vibrant, colorful look typical of the series and cranks it up to 11. All of the stages are extremely colorful, and the foregrounds and backgrounds are loaded with detail, and there are some nice scrolling effects here and there as well. The character designs are really nice too, especially the bosses, which are really big and detailed, so overall just a great looking game. The sound design is really good too, but I don't think it quite measures up to the PC Engine game, which isn't such an insult, since that game had some great CD quality music. The soundtrack here is still good, all of the stage music is lighthearted, and complements the visuals really well, and the sound quality is good too. The sound effects are also good, and there's actually quite a lot of voice clips, which is typical of the series. So all things considered, this is a really well-made game with great graphics, good sound design, and really fun gameplay. It at least lives up to the PC Engine game. So, Cotton 100% is a game that I can easily recommend to shooter fans, especially if you have an affinity for cute-em-ups. You can do a lot worse than this one. Unfortunately, the only negative thing I can say about this game is that it, along with pretty much all Cotton games, is really expensive if you go looking for a copy online. Loose carts at best go for at least $60, with complete copies being sold for more than $100, which I can't really recommend spending when considering that there are actually some other really good shooters for the SNES that don't cost nearly as much. But if you can afford it, or if you can find another way to play it, then definitely give Cotton 100% a try. It's really fun, and it's got a comfort rating that's through the roof.